US President Donald Trump is meeting the British Prime Minister in Chequers in the UK. The Chequers is the Prime Minister's country retreat where the bilateral talks are being held. US President Donald Trump said that he would discuss trade and military issues with British Prime Minister Theresa May and that the US relations with Britain are very strong. Friday will also see the Queen receive the US President for the first time since he took office. Trump will inspect the guard of honor with the Queen before being welcomed for tea at Windsor Castle before journeying on to Scotland for the weekend after Trump. The Queen will have met with 12 US presidents. That's everyone elected since she took to the throne in 1952 with the exception of Lyndon B. Johnson. But this blimp stole the show. It's 19 feet long and depicts Donald Trump as a baby. A group of protesters flew this balloon outside the British Parliament. Clearly, action speaks louder than the words. So these are the visuals of the meeting which Donald Trump is sitting next to British Prime Minister Theresa May. So Mandy, so what's the itinerary of the day? So what's on the table today for Donald Trump? Mandy, what's on the table for Donald Trump? What's the itinerary of the day?
Well, what we understand, he's going to be visiting Sandhurst, which is a Royal Military Academy. Of course, he's just come back from NATO. Where he's been really berating his NATO counterparts about defense funding. In the past, he's threatened to pull out. So it will be a tense meeting. He's already criticized Theresa May just before seeing her, but then he said they have a very strong relationship. So he seems to be sending very mixed messages. It's very important for Theresa May to get along with Donald Trump, particularly during this Brexit times, because she does need a strong trade deal with the United States. But of course, he said if the way she negotiates Brexit doesn't work out, he might pull that off the table. So it's really all to play for Donald Trump and a lot to lose for Theresa May.
And Mandy, is it correct that there's a protest also in making today?
There are protests. There are expected to be thousands upon thousands of people in London protesting Donald Trump. He's a very, very divisive figure. They did not take kindly when he was very quick to insult the London mayor right after the terror attacks. They haven't forgotten that. They're floating an angry baby Donald Trump blimp during these protests. So he is more or less avoiding London during this 4-day trip because of those planned protests. He certainly hasn't said much about them, but it's speculated that he doesn't want to be near the protests. So we're expecting a lot of people coming out to voice how they feel about Donald Trump and his diplomatic tactics.
But I'm sure, I think he's staying put in London in the official, the residence of the ambassador?
No, he feels very strongly about the embassy. Of course, that was a change of embassy, and he felt that was a mistake because President Obama had changed the ambassador's residence. He didn't like it, so he said he's never going to step foot in the U.S. embassy in London. He will be in Windsor. He's going to meet the Queen, have tea there. He's in Sandhurst, which is outside London. He's meeting Theresa May in Chequers, which is her country resident. So really a lot of his meetings, normally when a state comes to the capital, he's really avoiding it.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you for updating us on this story.